Hello YouTube, this is Headley South. I'm sorry I haven't done an update for a little while, but a few things have been happening which has kind of prevented me from doing an update. So today this video is all about bad news and good news. So in front of you can see an image that if you've seen my video about the Headley South layout you'll have seen before. This was my plan that I came up with for what Headley South would look like. Since then, things have taken a bit of a turn for the worse, and I'm no longer building a shed layout because I'm having an absolute nightmare with the shed and it keeps leaking, and it's going to end up being a total disaster. I can see me getting part way through building the layout and it leaking and destroying the layout. So that idea's gone, which has kind of put a stop to the layout at the moment. But myself and the wife were talking and we came up with another idea. So the new idea is this. My wife said, why don't you build the layout in the garage? So basically the idea being, I build the layout in the garage and it would take up the space of the original layout plus the green area, which as you can see again nearly a third of the space again. So brilliant, tons of space for the layout, so that's a huge positive, and I don't have to worry about the shed leaking. So that's good news. But then things took another slight turn, and the wife and I were talking and we did some working out in the garage and what we could do with the stuff in there, and this idea came up. The idea that I could actually use the space highlighted in like the beige colour. I need to leave where the red rectangle is because that's for my toolbox, but the rest of the space I could basically have, except somewhere I'm going to have to fit the tumble dryer, although the wife at one point suggested putting it in the kitchen, but I don't think that will happen. So I'll have to somewhere underneath the layout house the tumble dryer with easy access for my wife, but apart from that I've now got the whole garage. So it's gone from shed to garage to large garage layout, and so therefore things are going to take another change in that I'm no longer going to build an N gauge railway. I'm now going to build a double O gauge railway. So the N gauge railway idea has gone, and I'm now going to be modelling in double O gauge. I'm still deciding quite how I'm going to do the layout. I'll show you a few ideas that I've got in a moment, but first of all I'd like to do a few thank yous. The first one going to Graham Fulston. Graham has a layout called Lakeside, so if you haven't seen his videos it's well worth going over to see his channel. Graham and I have chatted quite a bit on and off, and I've picked his brains over some basic stuff, and he's taken the time and trouble to give me basic bits of information that I wasn't certain of. So big thank you to you, Graham, it's really appreciated. And as I said to you, yes, I'm going double O gauge. I'd also like to thank Mark at Western Centurion channel. Immense encouragement. He also gave me a shout out when I first started, and we have a good laugh together when we comment on each other's videos. So thank you, Mark, for your support. Also Ian, the Diomede F16. When I first started out he gave me some great encouragement as well, so I'd like to say thank you to Ian. There's other people out there also who've commented on my videos or given me some ideas. I can't remember everyone, but Anyone who's given me any help or advice, it's really been appreciated. Thank you very much. If you have any comments at any time, they're really appreciated. So, what am I going to do? Well, my first thought that I had was to do a layout that basically runs around the perimeter and then put a helix over here and a helix down here, and it basically runs between, say, an upper level and a lower level, and use the helix to get down to the lower level and have a fiddle yard down there. If you've seen my previous layout video, I had the idea of doing some storage underneath on that one. That's one idea I've got. A second idea I've got is to have a single helix over here just to access a fiddle yard, say down this side, and do a 2-tier layout going around the outside, possibly with a link going across this way to the other side. The link across, I'm still trying to decide whether to do it as a lift out section or just crawl underneath it. I'm kind of thinking of just having a central area that's like a walk area. I know on my previous layout I was looking at doing pop-up areas. The trouble with this, with it being such a big space, I'd need such big pop-up areas. I don't think it's practical. And also, if people come round to see the layout, they probably won't be able to crawl on their hands and knees to get a decent look at the layout. So therefore I kind of want it slightly more open plan so people can come and enjoy the layout as well as me. So I'm kind of thinking it'll either take the shape of maybe a rectangle with a spur off for the helix going down, or maybe 2 helixes and around the outside, or something along those kind of lines. And it'll probably be over at least a couple of layers. Apart from that, I haven't got any further yet. In the sort of design phase, I'm busy trying to work out what I'm going to do. It's obviously going to delay me slightly because I've got a garage to sort out that's got to be emptied, the stuff to go to the tip, those kind of things, and then I've got to fit it out and so on and so forth. So it's going to delay me starting my layout a bit, but I think the end result, the space I'll gain, etc., will be well worth it. And I never planned to build this layout in a few weeks anyway. It was always going to be a long-term project, so it's just a bit of a delay, which I can live with. It's slightly annoying because I'd love to get started, but I don't want to rush it and ruin it, so I'd rather do it right. And it's like the shed. If I'd have carried on going with that, I know at some point the layout would have got damaged because of water coming in, and I'd have been kicking myself for not trying to do something about it. So once I've got some better idea of what I'm going to do with the layout and have designed a rough plan, I'll show you then. But in the meantime, if you have any comments or any ideas or suggestions, please feel free to comment, and thanks for watching. Have a good weekend. Bye for now. Bye.